Okay. The Board of Adjustment of the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas will meet in a special meeting in City Hall Chambers located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026 at 4 p.m. I call this meeting to order. It takes 4 affirmative, oh no. Oh, okay. I need to establish a quorum. Roll call from my left, please.
Alexander here.
Tracy here.
Weller here.
Bayless here.
We have a quorum. It takes 4 affirmative votes in order for a variance to be granted. If a variance is denied, the only course of action for the requester is to file an appeal in the Henderson County District Court. New business. 3A, consider and take action to approve the April 2nd, 2026 meeting minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I will ask for a motion, please.
Motion.
Ms. Tracy makes a motion to
Approved.
approve. May I have a second?
I approve.
Bayless?
Bayless.
Ms. Bayless makes a motion, seconds the motion. May I have a vote for my left, please?
Alexander, yes.
Tracy, yes.
Weller, yes.
Bayless, yes.
Minutes are approved. 3B, conduct a public hearing and consider and/or take action on a request for a variance for property located at 239 Whispering Trail, Gun Barrel City, Texas, legally described as Lot 480, located in the Tamarack Subdivision, Abstract 59, J.P. Brown Survey. The applicant is requesting a variance to section 156.032, capital E, close paren, 1D of the Gun Barrel City Code of Ordinances, Single Family Detached Residential District, R-6C, which requires a 25-foot building setback. I will now open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public here to speak? Are you the applicant?
No, ma'am.
Oh, all right.
We live right over there, in the same area.
You need to come to the microphone, please, and after you have spoken,
I'm sorry, where's the microphone?
right there at the
In
podium.
that podium.
And after you have spoken, if you would fill out a form with our city secretary, please, so we have a record of your name and address. Please go ahead.
My name is Ryan Pearl. I live at 104 Kevin's Circle / Creek. We're not real sure because it goes by 2 different names. Several things. We were here. I mean, we don't have a problem with our neighbor, living 23 foot closer or whatever it is instead of 25. And then also we own that property, so we were kind of wondering how that affects us because with that 25-foot rule plus the 25-foot rule, you're basically saying that no house can ever be put there. So that's, why we were kind of wanting to voice our opinion.
All right. Something else you want to say? There were a couple things you said.
Well, it was just, we were for her getting her house in there. And then we were just kind of voicing our opinion against that rule. Because if we ever try to sell that front lot up there, nobody can ever put a house up there with that 25-foot rule and then 25-foot rule.
Okay.
And also, because you are saying that's a main city road, I believe it is called, it's really just a gravel road. And I was also kind of curious about, we have some other neighbors that just moved in. If they're supposed to be 25 foot off that road, their house is basically going to be in a creek.
Okay, well, we're only here to discuss the matter before us. They would have to come
I was just making
to
sure.
us. You bet. You bet. And perhaps when we hear from our city planner, hopefully you'll get the answers you're seeking.
Oh, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not really sure how to approach this, but They were telling that one family, you know, that family I was just talking about, that if, with that creek, that they can move, you know, adjust that creek. I don't think they can. I think they have to, because that's a feeds Tarrant County, the lake.
Okay, I don't know who the they
So I don't
is,
I don't know,
and,
I just want to throw that out there too.
Yeah.
So,
that's not before us either,
and
but,
I know those people paid $20,000 for that one lot.
well,
So
we'll,
I just want to throw that out there.
thank you.
Brian, you have to close that one.
All right, anyone else to speak at the public hearing? Then I will close the public hearing, and I will ask for a presentation by our city planner, Miss Brittany Anderson.
So I will start with the timeline of events. This slide outlines the notice timeline for the Board of Adjustment item. The letters are mailed to property owners within 200 feet on May 21st of 2026. The public notice was published on May 24th of 2026, and today's meeting date is June 9th, where the board will consider the variance request. This slide shows the 200-foot mailing boundary used for the required mail notices. I mailed out 19 letters. This slide identifies the general location of the property at 239 Whispering Trail within the Tamarack subdivision. The property is currently zoned single-family detached residential district, R6C. The variance request is specific to this lot and the placement of the proposed manufactured home that is shown in the applicant's submittal. The home currently shown in the image is no longer there. This would be for a new mobile home placement. This slide shows the applicant's proposed placement of the manufactured home. The applicant is requesting approximately 3-foot variance from the required building setback. The applicant states that the corner lot layout, the adjoining gravel roadway, and the platted utility and building line areas limit the buildable area on the lot. The proposed manufactured home would remain within the property lines. If approved, staff recommends the approval be limited to the location and encroachment shown on the submitted survey or drawing. And if you see here, I did highlight what they have shown. So the rear would meet the 5-foot setback. The side on Whispering Trail would meet the 25-foot setback. And then also the other side would be 33.82 feet, which would also meet that setback. And it is on Kevin's Circle where they show 22.70 feet instead of the 25. This slide shows the R6 dimensional requirements, and this is for section 156.035. I know that on the public notice, it did say 156.032, but it should be 35. For residential uses in R6C, the required setbacks are 25 feet for the front, 5 on the side, and 7.5 feet for the rear. The applicant is requesting a variance to section 156.035E1D, which establishes the minimum yard setback requirements. All other city requirements would still apply, including the building permits, inspections, lot coverage, and any utility easements requirements. For this slide, I will summarize the variance criteria for the board to consider under the Texas Local Government Code, section 211.009, and the city zoning ordinance. The board should determine whether strict enforcement of the ordinance creates an unnecessary hardship due to special physical conditions of the property, and whether that hardship is tied to the land rather than personal circumstances. Staff's review found that the lot has a unique corner configuration with multiple setback and building line limitations, and the requested relief is limited to approximately 3 feet. The board should also consider whether the request is the minimal variance necessary, and whether it would grant a special privilege, and whether it would be detrimental to public health, safety, or welfare. Based on the findings in the staff report, staff recommends approval of the requested variance. The recommendation is based on the request being limited to an approximate 3-foot encroachment and to the required setback for placement of a manufactured home, which is a permitted residential use in the R6 zoning district. Staff finds that the request is tied to the physical configuration of the property, including the corner lot layout, adjoining gravel roadway, and platted utility and building line areas that limit the buildable area. If approved, staff recommends the variance be limited to the placement shown on the submitted survey or drawing, and that it does not authorize additional encroachments, future expansions, additions, accessory structures, or work not shown without a separate review and approval if required by the ordinance. The applicant would still be required to comply with all the remaining city ordinances, building requirements, permitting requirements, inspections, and any applicable utility easements requirements. I can answer any questions that you have for me, and then also the applicant is also here.
So would the address be Whispering Trail or Kevin's Circle? Since it seems like the front, the way this diagram is presented, is going to be toward Kevin's Circle.
So because that is a corner lot, they can still use the address 239 Whispering Trail. It's not based off of where their front door specifically is, where they're going to be placing their mailbox, is how you assign that.
Okay, because it seems, now I don't know for sure, but it seems like if the front was toward Whispering Trail, they wouldn't need a variance at all. Because there's already 25 feet and there's plenty of room on both sides and back. But I don't know, is it just because of the way the house is setting?
Well, actually, under definitions for zoning, if you actually look, there is a layout that is there, and it tells you what is considered a front yard, what is considered a side yard, and what is considered the rear. And based off of that definition and the examples that are shown, Kevin's Circle and Whispering Trail are actually both considered front yards, and the other two sides are considered side.
Can you go to the slide that shows this lot in relation to the other lots near it? You know the one I mean? There you go. Okay, the one in yellow, right, is the lot that we're talking about.
That's correct.
Okay, so who owns 300937? The lot immediately to, you know, I'm directionally impaired. I believe it would be to the south of it or the left of it. Which lot do you own, sir?
We live at 104 Kevin Circle, and we own that other lot that's right ahead. I don't know how to explain it.
The one called, where the cul-de-sac is?
Okay.
Yeah, we're across the street.
You own,
We own that one and the two to your left.
Yes.
That one and that one. Yes, we own all three of those.
okay, then I'm unclear how you think that this in any way affects any of those lots. You said you wouldn't be able to put a house there.
Yes, on the front, because they're telling us we have to be 25 foot off Whispering Trail and Kevin Circle. You have to be 25 foot and 25 foot. So, I mean, that takes out a huge chunk. And you're telling us you have to have a house bigger than 800 square foot. So, you know, unless you build a 2-story, and plus you gotta be 10 foot off that other property line, from what we're understanding.
So it's actually 5 feet on the sides, but, yeah, so if you do have plans for something like that in the future, they're more than welcome to follow the same process that they're doing, which is requesting a variance for that particular lot. If they can't meet those ordinances.
Okay, so it wouldn't matter really if which way the house was turned. She needs to be, okay, I get it.
And also I can note in here too that her, so the lot width, for this property is 59.74 feet. And the width of the mobile home is 32 feet. And if you take 5 foot off of that and then another 25 feet, they're not able to meet the requirement.
And as I understand it, it has something to do with the manufacture date of the home that's being put in there, that it meets the year.
Now, the city and the property owners require a certain,
Right, a certain age, right? And it's my understanding
Yeah,
that
this is a brand new.
to get a manufactured home that would fit, it wouldn't meet the ordinance of how new it has to be, if that makes sense.
I think that's what you're saying is the old ones used to be narrower. Isn't that what you're saying? Basically?
All I'm saying is,
I was just curious.
I know that this one, to put a narrower one in, would not meet the year of manufacture that is required both by the city and Tamarack.
right.
Is that correct?
I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell you on that, so. I can only tell you what they provided me with and what our ordinance states, so.
Right. I really,
I've been by there, I live in the
I went by
neighborhood.
there too, so.
I've been by there, I live in the neighborhood, and I think that if somebody was to put a brand new house on that lot, it would do nothing but improve the area that it's sitting in, because it could definitely use a layout.
Yes. Do we have any more questions, discussions? Do we want to hear from the applicant? Oh,
I encourage you to hear from the applicant. I will tell you, I just received a report that the trailer was set today without BOA approval and without permit. So, I have a picture of the house on the lot, and that was set today without BOA approval and without the permit. This is exactly, I have said this since day one for this project, this is exactly why we have a BOA, right? This is why there is a board of adjustment, because it is 100% an improvement to the neighborhood. And that's why we have this in place. But we also have rules in place for specific reasons. And I would love for you to hear from the applicant, but it's my understanding, in all fairness to the four of you, to know what we know, that the house, and I have a picture of the house on the lot that was delivered in place today. So, without approval from BOA, but this is.
or a permit from the city?
Or a permit from the city. This is exactly why there is a BOA, and I have said that to each of you since day one when we rushed this through, because 3 foot in the ability to get a new home on this lot, it is made for lots that are not buildable. That is the entire purpose of council affording a BOA and BOA making that decision. So I would just ask that you hear that statement from the property owner and the applicant. And because there is not been a permit issued, even though we requested today, hey, get us a permit, you'll be ready to go tomorrow morning, once we get approval one way or the other, but that did not happen, so.
Then we'd like to hear from the applicant, please.
And I can also state that, the city won't issue a permit until they're meeting those requirements, or of course they have, a variance that's approved, so we couldn't issue them one until this meeting.
I was not aware that the
Please.
house,
State your, just your name, please.
Carissa Reed,
Thank you.
I was not aware that the house was coming today, because we knew that we had this meeting, and, we knew that we needed approval before we could get the house. And then I've been at work all day, and when I got off work today, the house was actually in the middle of the street, but the house has not been actually set, like it's not in stone, so if the house needs to be moved, it can still be moved. And the guy that actually brought the house is actually in the parking lot with all of the information of everything that's needed for them to pull a permit, because I didn't know that the house was coming today. I actually thought the house was coming tomorrow, so I was not aware at all that the house would be there today. That was not my acknowledgement until I got off work and the house was actually there. So I wasn't trying to be funny and just put the house there and bypass everything don't have going on, because I want to do it the right way. That was my intentions, but the house actually came before it was supposed to.
And that
That's what
happens, that happens.
Yeah.
I've dealt with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question of, the board or?
Bill, we can discuss a bit.
Well, I know that the Board of Adjustments meetings are normally on the first Thursday of the month. And this is not Thursday and it's not, yes, please.
I can, as I said a while ago while I was up here, we have meetings set because of all of the paperwork that Brittany has to process. And so having them the first Thursday at 2 o'clock of every single month ensures that we have a due date for applications and we have time to process. This missed that application date by several days, but we knew that the applicant had already purchased the house and was doing everything that she needed to do. So we agreed to rush this through and go inside of that date and publish and call a special meeting with each of you, and you agreed to do that, thankfully, to get this done, because at that point, she already had the house.
Well, I figured it was something like
But
that.
yeah, this is kind of a one-off, and the benefit of a BOA is if we have an emergency situation like this, because we only meet as needed, we can call a special meeting if you all are available. So Brittany came to me and Janet and said, hey, we don't have another meeting until July, what do we do? And I said, well, if this is the only one, we will have another, I think we have another case coming in front of you in July. They weren't ready, so we were able to go ahead and get this published. There are a lot of legalities that come into Board of Adjustment because you have the right to overrule council-approved zoning ordinances. So that's why.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you ready for a motion?
Do we, any further discussion? No. All right, hearing none, then I will ask for a motion.
If I can, whoever makes the motion, if we could correct the letters and numbers to, it should be 156.035.
Okay, then the motion that you and I talked about, Brittany, needs some things that aren't in it.
Well, you're talking about just repeating this on thing.
Yes,
Okay,
with the
that's
5 instead of the 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, so what I'm talking about is 156.032 is what it states. It needs to state 156.035.
Okay,
That's
then
the correct number.
never, yeah. Okay, thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. All right, we are ready now for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the request for variance for property located at 329 Whispering Trail, Gun City, Texas.
239?
239.
329.
Yeah. 239.
Thank you.
Located, described as lot 480, located at the Tamarack subdivision, abstract 59J.P. Brown survey. To approve the variance to section 156.035E1D of the Gunnersville City Code of Ordinances. Single family detached residential district R-6C, which requires a 25-foot building setback.
And I second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Then vote from my left, please.
Alexander, yes.
Tracy, yes. Weller, yes.
Bayless, yes.
Motion approved. I adjourn this meeting at 4:25 PM. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on your new home.
Yeah, yeah.